Okay, this is MUA1 or Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 on the PC. It is heavily modified. Doesn't even really look like the 2006 release anymore. Given all the model replacements, and as you can see here, video replacements that I've made, UIs overhauled, etc. I'm just gonna jump into it. It's been a minute since I've touched this actually. It's been like I think months. I'm gonna go to default. As you can see, the movies are replaced with MCU or Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. I just prefer them over the default game's low resolution. Got a new background. I love this background. It's like the helicarrier, the inside of the helicarrier. I always wanted like a character select screen where that made sense. And the only thing that makes sense to me is a helicarrier. Just putting all the characters on a helicarrier. That the helicarrier can pretty much go anywhere, etc. Just made sense. And also it's very intricate. I like the detail of his background. Of course I have the 50 character roster mod, which basically just skyrockets the amount of characters you can select from. As you can see here, all the models are replaced. I'm a big fan of MCU, so I have nothing but strictly MCU models replacing all of the characters. When you go into all of the costumes you can select, you get like I think four. It's either 4 to 6. Actually, I think it's 6. You get 6 costumes per character, and every once in a while, depending on the character, you might actually have a couple of costumes that are, models ripped from other games. Like it could be Future Fight, it could be um, MVC Infinite, it could be like some really modern stuff. But for the most part, what I choose to go with is mainly MCU, just because I like the movie models. None of the other Ultimate Alliance games even attempt to, use the movie models or the movie likenesses, and I think it's a waste of potential. I'm not gonna pick a full team. I'm gonna show off something that I wanted to something I want to showcase here too that I think is important. With the release of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, it kind of coerces or forces you to have 3 characters, no, 4 characters on your roster when you start the game out, and I've always hated that. As you can see here with the MUA1, you get an option of just playing with one character. It's up close, personal, very intimate. A lot of the mods I have in here, first and foremost being Reshade, which is just like bells and whistles, giving you like bloom and lens flare, motion blur, just a whole plethora, a suite of effects that the default game doesn't have. And as you can see here, the end result is this game is insanely beautiful. Also on top of that, I have the shadows turned on. Um, I believe it's that I believe that is what it's called, shadows. As you see, I can pick between arcade and co-op mode. I always pick arcade. Arcade is awesome. Gives you like a point system when you finish or complete the stage. It's pretty amazing, man. It's just like the capabilities we have with modding are pretty nuts. Or is it advanced lighting? I think it's called, yeah. So as you can see there, I have the advanced lighting on, which basically just puts shadows everywhere in the game. Kind of bumps the game up from a PlayStation game to a full-blown modern PC game with like this, like stuff like this crazy shadowing, which most people turn off, to be honest, because lazy modders out there, they don't like to replace all of their models, and it causes like glitches with the lighting. But as you can see from my game, it's fully replaced. The UI is completely replaced. You can see it on the top left there. All of the textures in my game, these are not 2006 textures. These are actually replacement textures from 2016 and up. So these are more modern. Graphic wise, this is far more modern than the base game. You'll notice what I was saying earlier with the APCs that I replaced all the enemies to. As you can see here, I replaced these with pretty much Stark armor, just to pay homage to the, I think second, I think it was the second Avengers movie. I think it was called Age of Ultron. The thing I love about MUA1, aside from the fact that you can just play with one character, you can get up close and very intimate, is the stage layout. It's a pretty crazy stage layout. Really, if you know the game, you get options of just like taking a door and going around the long way, or you could literally just break windows and shortcut your way through the stages. And there's windows everywhere. And I've always, I personally always found this to be nuts, and it's just something you have to figure out from playing the game here. Having the ability to play this game with one character instead of 4, it skyrockets the difficulty too, depending on who you have. Like if I had a character like the Hulk, I would pretty much blow through this stage like it was nothing. But if you're playing with like a normal character who isn't supposed to be like on a fantasy base, or a overpowered character like Captain America, who's just some dude, the game's much harder, man. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. This game is extremely hard when you play without a team present, and I actually prefer it that way. Trying to think. There's a mod in here called the Realism mod, which basically bumps the game up from a mobile phone game where none of the enemies flinch to a full-blown modern game where you can do crazy stuff like pop-up attacks, as you see there. I have an air combo mechanic in the game. The air combos are brought back from this older game called X-Men Legend. It just gives you the ability to fight in the air, which you don't have for the default MUA1 game. It's just, this is insane, man. All of this is insane. It feels so realistic. You have the highest control with your character too, as you see here. I don't do anything unless I want to. Combo wise, there's a lot of combos to pick from. You just have to learn to sequence it for the strong and the average attacks. It's pretty nuts, man. MUA1, I've always said this, and I still say it. This game is a masterpiece, man. Sky's the limit. I went through the NPC stat and I modified all of the enemy characters to be proper heights. I went through my hero stat and I modified all the playable characters to be their Hollywood or their real life base actors heights. So it's pretty nuts. So yes, Hugh Jackman is about 6'1". Whatever Hugh Jackman's height is, I had to research when I did it, but I know Hugh Jackman, the person who plays Wolverine, he is taller than 6 feet. And as you can see, this is Chris Evans. That's the actor for Captain America. Since we're on it here, as you can see here, this used to be, I can't even remember who this used to be. I think it used to be Scorpion. Of course the Marvel comic Scorpion, which is the green dude with the tail. I switched them out and I put Yellow Jacket here. And as you can see, I went through the conversation too, and I changed all of the text to be accurate to the model that's portraying him now, including his name. He's now named Yellow Jacket. Thought that was a pretty interesting thing that modders could do with their games to make it better. If you're not familiar with Yellow Jacket, he's one of the enemies. I think he's from the Ant-Man movie, from the MCU universe. I just put him in here because he's familiar, and also he fits my MCU aesthetic I was going for. This Realism mod gives you the ability to pop up enemies. He's being stubborn right now. There we go. See, it gives you the ability to pop up enemies. You make them flinch. You really affect them when you hit them, as you can see there. There's a lot of impact to your shots, which unfortunately the other MUA games haven't really mimicked. Thank God for modding, right? As you can see there on the ground, the money is replaced too. It used to be like dollars, but I switched it out with coins because the dollars or the previous models that I had on, they used to spin, and I did it like that spinning effect. It felt kind of cheesy and fake, so I went with these coins because they just sit static on the ground. Also, there's no time limit for it either, so they sit there basically forever, or until you leave the stage, which is really cool. You could probably hear it there too. I'm not sure how loud the game is, but Chris Evans' voice is actually on the character too. I went through, and for every playable character in all 3 of my rosters consist of 50 characters, so I have about 150 different playable characters. But I went through and gave them the appropriate MCU file sounds, or rather sound files for their voices. And this one has Chris Evans. He says stuff like, "I can do this all day," or "Is that it?" or "Hey, that's enough." It's pretty cool. So cool, man. This doesn't feel like I'm playing MUA1 anymore. It's just none of the textures or models look the same. That's from the characters to the stage. It's pretty nuts, man. None of the sounds are alike. The gameplay is completely different. This is pretty mind-blowing. Oh crap, gotta wait for my shield to come back. No. You have to hold it. When you throw the shield with Captain America, you have to hold on to the button until the shield comes back. That's how you put it back on. If you don't, it'll like disappear. It's just how you have to play with it, mechanic wise. There's a lot going on here, man. Here's the arcade mode function I was talking about earlier. See how it has a point system now when you beat the stage? That's insane, dude. Recently, I found a model for Nick Fury. I replaced my old Nick Fury model. Wait until you see this dude's face, man. It's crazy. MUA is the GOAT, man. This game's come so far.
Thanks for responding to my SOS so quickly.
Peep the UI.
The
See the
helicarrier is
hood?
under attack by a
See the
group of
model on the top
supervillains
left?
called the
Looks
MODDED.
just like Sam Jack.
I thought help us team.
Yeah, this game is crazy, man. This is just nuts. This is like my dream game here. I'm a big Marvel fan. Rest in peace, Stan Lee. I know Disney's gonna destroy your franchise while you're dead. But we gotta be honest here. Marvel was popping when Stan Lee was alive. He really did some amazing things with his quality control and just his characters in general. It's like you will be missed, man. Oh, the arcade mode thing. Okay, so what I have to do here is I selected arcade mode, and I'm actually playing with my second controller. Is I have to turn it off, not turn arcade mode off, but the second character off, and play as one. Then I can go in here. That's just for arcade mode. It gives you an option of two characters if you want.
Captain America.
So yeah, this is my new roster here. My new background, which is the helicarrier. The helicarrier still does and always will make more sense than anything else to me because it's a character select. You have the option of doing the character select at any location that you're in, and it just makes sense for the helicarrier to be carrying all of the characters. As you can see, the roster's been completely reworked too. I have Mysterio and Vulture, and on the far right bottom corner there, you can see Nebula. There's just a lot of new characters. There's even Shang-Chi on the far left top corner. Not really the corner, but towards the far left there. I have Shuri. There's just a lot going on here, man. Just like MUA1 is the GOAT in regards to games. And again, this is just my first 50 characters. I have another completely different MCU based roster that has 50 more characters. If you haven't played MUA1, I recommend you pick it up on PC and modify it, and you can get it to this point fairly easy, you guys. The site that I recommend you guys go to is called marvelmods.com. They have a Discord, and they're always communicating. You're not going to find a more positive or more pleasant community to be around. Those people are like family, man. And yeah, this is MUA1. I'm just doing a recap, just showing off the status of it right now. Um, I'll consider making more videos of this because I have other rosters that I have to show off too. I'm actually working on a fourth roster or a fourth set of 50. But yeah, God bless.